Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. Today's YouTube video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different in the respect that I'm actually using a different video editing software. And I'd like to know what you think of the new video editing software. It's going to look pretty similar, the end product hopefully, to my previous videos. But this video is effectively a testbed for it. Now, as the battle gets underway here, I am in the USS Fletcher, because why not? And it's the Ridgeline map here in World of Warships. It's domination match mode, and I am headed towards the A cap point. Now, I'm not alone here. I do have some other friendly destroyers coming up behind me. The advantage going into this battle that my team has right off the bat is the fact that, well, they have me in the Fletcher. But this is a very tier 9 battle. But really, it's a very tier 8 battle. There's a lot of tier 8s. There are very few tier 9s. And while I'm not 100% concerned about running into those tier 9s, I do need to be cautious to some respect. Get up here into the A cap point and immediately get engaged by the enemy Benson. Now that Benson has pushed up here and has laid a smokescreen. You'll notice I didn't open fire on that Benson, and I didn't lay my own smokescreen, and I didn't do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, that Benson laid a smokescreen for me. Because he's the only one who was in range to detect me, once he broke line of sight with me and dropped off detectability, I would drop off detectability as well. So that's basically what ended up happening here. And because I didn't open fire on him, all of the ships downrange didn't see me either. Now that Benson is still hanging about in and around that smokescreen. And you can tell he is because you can see the shots coming out of it headed downrange towards the friendly ships behind me. Now because I know he's still in that smokescreen somewhere, I'm going to keep trying to get my torpedoes into that smokescreen. Again, remember something I always tell you people, smokescreens are torpedo magnets. And there he is, the Benson has popped up out of his smokescreen. Now this time he is very close. He's opted to immediately start reversing. And because I opened up with my guns, because there are ships inside my gun range, I decide to pop my own smokescreen. But you'll notice I've started reversing here. I've started doing this with popping my own smokescreen just because, what do I always say? Smokescreens are torpedo magnets. So as I start backing up here, I do manage to hit that Benson with one torpedo, so that's going to leave him very low health. Here come the torpedoes that I expected. There's the first set, and there's the second set. That could be very dangerous. I pop my speed boost to get that little bit extra, get that turn in, and manage to dodge them. Now that Benson smokescreen is out. He's very low health, incredibly low health, and he's on fire in 2 places. Yeah, he wasn't going to survive that engagement because he didn't have his repairability after taking that torpedo so soon. Benson down, earning me the first blood. Of course, the enemy team also manages to take out one of our cruisers right off the bat, and because of that, they're going to be 1 point in the lead. But don't worry, my team is going to go ahead and rally. As you can see here, much of the battle is now going to take place for the B cap point. The enemy team that was over by the A cap point has pretty much bugged out, and they are all headed that direction. The enemy team still has 2 destroyers left, and this is where it can get a little tricky for me. One of the destroyers they still have left, of course, is their Fletcher, and if he's got more health than me, engaging him in a direct gunfight might not be the best thing for me. So I do need to be careful. But they also have another destroyer who's got pretty good concealment as well, and if he plays it right, he can pop up and detect me for all of the cruisers and battleships behind him to shoot at. Now, as I'm pushing up here, there are 2 battleship targets that I have. And during this match, I was actually having a little bit of a problem with my targeting system. For whatever reason, I could not switch targets by pressing the X key, which is what it's set to do. I actually had to swap back to my guns and manually aim them at a target in order for the target to switch. Now that Gneisenau disappeared there, but this Colorado is still in range of my torpedoes. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and give it a try and switch off to him. There's the enemy Fletcher that I was concerned about. And yeah, he's definitely got more health than me. So as I come around here, kind of do a little maneuvering and waggling, you'll notice on the mini-map that Gneisenau changed directions, and now he's headed hard at this direction. So I don't want to keep going this way with my torpedoes unavailable for almost a minute, as that guy's going to decide to come around that island. And because I'm so close, if he does in fact continue pushing, then once he does clear the headland of that island, I'm going to be detected, and I really don't need that kind of attention right now. Of course, I could opt to stick around and torpedo him, but I actually decide, given the opportunity, I'm going to go ahead and push home the attack on B. Most of the enemy team, they're way out there at sea, and the enemy Fletcher is now dead. Managed to hit the Colorado with 3 torpedoes, cause him flooding. I don't know what the situation with this Colorado is, but he ends up flooding to death here. Doesn't quite get his hand onto that repair key quickly enough, and that's either because he didn't have damage control, though considering he wasn't on fire or anything before I launched those torpedoes, so he should have had it available. My guess is that he might have been tunnel visioning down range and just not paying attention, really hoping to get that last shot off before being deleted. The enemy team has 1 destroyer left, and as I close in here, he's getting very close, and if we keep going in, he's going to detect me, and he does detect me. While he's popping a smoke screen, he's moving really fast. So I get shots out here. Can I finish him off? Yes, I do. Manage to finish him off. But using my guns to do so has exposed me to the cruiser that's back over there. So I turn away, and I start my smoke screen. Now that cruiser does manage to land hits on me, so that's going to be a little unfortunate for me, but I've begun the process of capping. And the enemy team now has no destroyers left. Well, my team still has 3, so this gives my team an absolute destroyer advantage. I'm also pretty healthy as far as destroyers go, having more than 3/4 of my HP. Now I got torpedoes off there. I led that French baguette pretty heavily, and it's looking like it might actually pay off, as he's got a lot of problems there. Yes, it did pay off, as he effectively is forced to either turn in and go broadside to all of my friendly ships back there, or eat one of my torpedoes, and he ends up effectively doing both. So I finish him off with torpedoes, and there's my 4th kill, and 60,000 damage done. Now, of course, this is the Captain Rye Fletcher match, so 60,000 damage for most people, which would be about double the server average, would be an incredibly good game. But I'm kind of feeling like I haven't done enough in this battle. This battle isn't the most lucrative for me at this point. So I get torpedoes off of that Bismarck, but that Bismarck is maneuvering pretty hard. He's turning all sorts of different directions here. Now I get the second set of torpedoes off of that Bismarck, and that's when I realize that there's a nice big fat smoke screen up there, and I know what's in that smoke screen. There's an enemy Fiji, but there's also an enemy Iowa that's pushing up, and I could have fired off torpedoes in that smoke screen. They would have just barely made it there, and possibly could have caused some problems there. Now as I'm pushing up between these 2 battleships, you'll notice that these secondaries coming in between the 2 Bismarcks, this is a bit of a problem for me. If you're in a destroyer and you find yourself up near battleships like this, and their secondaries are blazing away at each other, keep your distance from them just a little bit. Even with manual secondaries, there's overshoots and undershots. You got to be careful. If you're in a destroyer, those secondaries might miss their main target, but they could hit you, and secondaries can cause detonations if you're not running a detonation flag. And they can set you on fire, and they can knock out your modules, so you do have to be careful on that. That Bismarck gets taken out. All my torpedoes missed him anyway. Really disappointed. But now I've got other targets to shoot at as I'm pushing up here towards the C cap point. At this point, I've got 2 flag capture assists. And again, I've done a really respectable amount of damage in the Fletcher, but that's not enough for me. I need more. As I'm pushing up here, I get 1 set of torpedoes back behind that island, kind of hoping that Iowa will do the bow on reverse meta and just continue reversing there. And I get the 2nd set right on that lead indicator there, again hoping that, and end up running right into the friendly destroyer. But that's okay, I actually push him into the cap circle just for a split second as I start trying to back up there. Really sorry about that, buddy. I was kind of hoping to try and go behind you. I thought you were going to be just a hair more forward than you ended up being, but oh well. It didn't hurt us too bad. Now, that enemy Iowa up there, he's in the C cap point, so that's preventing our team from capping, but he's got so many problems. He's actually on fire by myself, and he's about to get hit by a torpedo. Unfortunately, that torpedo hitting him in the bow didn't actually cause flooding. I don't know why. Really disappointed by that. But he's still on fire. I'm hoping I can secure the kill, grab myself a Kraken Unleashed. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I always love getting those in games. Very low health. Come on, shots. Get in there. And no, I didn't actually manage to finish him off. The Algiers, the French baguette cruiser, managed to finish him off with fire. Disappointed I didn't get the kill on that, but hey, that brought my damage total up to 91,000 in this game. And now my team has all 3 caps. There are 3 enemy ships left, soon to be 2 if you look at the health on that Fiji. One of which is an Otago playing in the back. I don't know how that Otago still has most of his health left at this point. He shouldn't if he was playing that ship right. And of course, their carrier over here who's got himself behind an island, but not far enough behind an island in order to save himself from the rainbow arcs of the Fletcher. Now, as I open up on him, he's really the only threat to me at this point. He's got his dive bombers up. They are detecting me, but I really don't care. I can turn my AA on and supply the friendly carrier fighter with some additional DPS in order to take them out. Now, trying to get shots out here, checking the lead indicator on the torpedoes to see if he's moving forward or reversing. It's not going to be the case. Nobody's going to get the kill as the game ends there. 94,000 damage done in that game. I managed to get a first blood, which I consider pretty nice there. And 6 torpedo hits, 4 floodings, 4 ships killed, 4 fire set, and 3 capture assists. Of course, with those 3 capture assists and the first blood, as well as the amount of damage that was done, you would expect a pretty high base XP. And you wouldn't be wrong. That's going to put me at 2,000 base XP, almost 500 base XP above the next nearest guy on the team, which is in actual fact the aircraft carrier. So you know that aircraft carrier player really played that ship well in order to be so high up on the team for base XP. I mean, number 2 on the team. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate it if you let me know what you thought of this video, and if you thought the editing on it was good or not. And hopefully I'll figure out my new editing software even better, and I can add additional features into my videos to make them even better in the future. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and the channel, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. Supporters gain early access to some of my World of Warships replays. If you've got a replay, like this one, that you'd like to see featured on my channel, you can send it to my email address, and if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships live, among other games, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.